My name is Rhapsody, welcome back to Wildfrost. Immediately gonna leap into another run here, and I feel like I need to continue with the Clunk Masters until I understand them and they understand me. So we're gonna continue with that by taking Nobin here, and Nobin will be earning themselves a new name. Also, Nobin, welcome. In fact, Eloise. Let's go. So that is 9 health and 2 damage on Eloise, with Barrage as well on a counter of 4 for the attack. Snoof, Bushu, or Loki. I mean, I still haven't taken Loki out on a mission. The ability to get demonized, possibly on a backline target, because they are attacking aimlessly, hitting a random target in the row. It has some appeal, admittedly, but I also feel like with Eloise doing 2 damage in Barrage, maybe I just need to take Snoof, who does 3 damage on a counter of 3. It's the largest damage output here for us. There you go. Oh, they've got their own Snulf, I see. Wild Snulf up there on the top line. Got the Snow Zuka, 2 Gear Hammers, Flask of Ink, Junkhead, and Junk in the hand. Unfortunately, we have the ability to generate a lot of junk, not a lot that we can do with it though. Over the course of 2 turns, I could upgrade 2 Gear Hammers and take out Snowbow. Problem is, Snowbow's only dealing 1 damage. It's probably better to do it to the Wild Snulf, prevent the 2 frosts they're otherwise going to give us. I almost feel like I want to force the draw into the deck at this point, try and get closer towards my next Snulf as well as the Gear Hammers. I think that'll give me a better position. Ooh, especially now. Having found both of the upgraded Gear Hammers from our first hand immediately, I want to drop out our own Snoof. I can upgrade one of the unupgraded Gear Hammers on this Snowbow enemy. Perfect. Let's get Snoof on the top line there to hit that Goblin. And the Winter Worm, when hit, reduces its damage by 1. I can hit it 2 times with 2 Gear Hammers over the course of the next 2 turns. Then I can use 1 other Gear Hammer on the Goblin in the top line. I like this. This, to me, is good. Ooh, in fact, my redraw bell is up. If I wanted to, I could force the cycle. Although, with Eloise attacking this turn, I can also just kill the Winter Worm before doing so. And it gives me another powerful Gear Hammer that I can draw into. So I'd really like to draw something that can hit the Goblin. Nice. So I can hit the Goblin with Junk right now. And in doing so, still cause a hit for 0 damage, getting it to drop 4. And then Snoof attacks, getting it to drop another 4. Final summon out to the field from the enemies is the Snow Knight and Baby Snowbow. This should be a problem. I can even Snow Zuka the Snow Knight if I need to. It has critical active, doubles the effect if it is the rightmost card in your hand. Yeah, I'm just going to continue throwing damage at them. So next round, Snoof and Eloise each are going to attack. If I get Snoof to attack the Snow Knight and Eloise to attack Baby Snowbow, both of them can kill in the same turn if I play the Gear Hammer this turn and then nothing next turn. That gives me a combo to end the fight for another 5 Bling. So yeah, now I end my turn. And we have all of these very powerful Gear Hammers in our hand. Maybe I'm looking more towards trying to power up these Gear Hammers. Something closer to what the first run was trying to do, giving frenzy to items in hand. That would be accessible through going for charms and treasures up there on the top line. We are going to get a Frozen Traveler at the end of it anyway. Okay. I accidentally convinced myself there. I was legitimately about to double back in the other direction. Oh, Sun Charm. Reduce counter by 1. Impactful. Let's save that one for later. I don't need to immediately apply it. We're about to pick up 2 more folk that it may be on. Okay, GG's Cookie Box. Adds 2 scrap and increases damage by 2, but you must trash 2 junk in hand and it is consumed. GG's Gizmo adds a scrap, recycles 1. Wait, hang on. Recycle 1. Recycle is using junk. Trash adds the junk to your hand. Oh, yeah, I knew that. I just momentarily forgot it for a second. I did. Increased damage by 2 for a character that's attacking in barrage is pretty good. When destroyed, apply 1 haze to the attacker from the haze balloon. I do think is also really interesting. I'm gonna take GG's Cookie Box. I have no clue if that's the right decision. Oh, it certainly feels like the right decision when we find Foxy. Foxy has 3 frenzy. Also, counter 3. So I can give Foxy the charm that will reduce their counter by 1. So every second turn, they will multi-strike for 3 for 3. Love it. Let's go, Foxy. You absolutely get the Sun Charm. And GG's Cookie Box is just default played on you. In order to guarantee that as much as possible, I'm really going to want to get a crown on Foxy as soon as possible. I want to put out units early. But if I put out Foxy, then the Porcupine goes down to 3 on its timer. I hit it with a Gear Hammer, 2. I hit it with a Gear Hammer, 1. I hit it with a Gear Hammer, it dies. The Frostinger then decreases the damage of Eloise. But then Foxy is there to clean up by killing the Mimic. Yeah, I put Foxy down. Actually, I also then just put Snoof. So the Frostinger in the front line will deal 1 damage as well as reduce the attack of Snoof by 2. Which is fine. Oh, by 2? By 1. Right, yeah, by 1. Okay. How much damage can I do this turn? So if just Eloise attacks through, in fact, Eloise would be targeted by Porcupine and Mimic, because Mimic would manage to get an attack, take 4 damage. Then Eloise murders both of them in response. And then I have Snoof and Foxy up here, doing 2 damage and then 3 damage. So yeah, there's no way for me to also take out the Frosting in this round, even using a Gear Hammer. 2 damage, 3 damage, 7 damage total, Frostinger survives. So because of that, I know that instead I'm going to want to prevent all of this excess damage coming out on the bottom line. The only reason to consider this is so that I could get more combo in a single turn. But yeah, if that's not relevant, it's not relevant. So instead I just Gear Hammer the Porcupine. We still get a 2 times combo. It's fine. It could be better, could be worse. I absolutely want to get Foxy's upgrade as soon as possible here. Ooh, nice. Nozuka appears in the exact right position. Can't give GG's cookie box to a target that does not already have scrap. Got it. Got it. Ugh. It's just I did a lot of planning, or it's fine. It's fine. I'll find a charm and Foxy will still be good. I gotta find a machine to put the GG's cookie box on now. I mean, I can put out the junkhead, should I want to do so. It's also worth noting, hey, I can use the Sun Song box to do this. The world isn't over. Got it. So I also can't give it to a unit that doesn't have damage. The unit needs to both have scrap health and damage before I can use GG's cookie. Got it. I'm learning. I'm learning. Not only can you not affect a statistic that a unit does not have, a unit is not considered a targetable object if it does not have the statistics affected. Got it. I'm internalizing that. Pack that away in my brain. In order to get more damage on the Goblin, or more individual hits on the Goblin, I'm going to strike the Frostinger in the front line, giving Foxy the ability to strike the Goblin 2 times. So Snoof is about to keep the Goblin here for a wee bit longer. I'd kind of prefer Foxy to just attack the Goblin instead. I'm gonna force the draw here. Snoof freezes the Frostinger. Foxy this turn will get us 12 Bling. Love to see it. Thank you, Foxy. A blessing in disguise, perhaps, that I didn't have the ability to buff you with the GGs. I'm going to use a Gear Hammer on the Frostinger so that Eloise can take out a Frostinger as well as a Mimic this round. 2 times combo. Alright, Goblin attempts to run. How gosh dang diddly dare you. It just doesn't seem... Oh, yeah, I'm just going to try and eke out extra money right now. I'm going to use the Snowzuka to keep Goblin on the field. Also, that was another hit against the enemy. And then I'm going to use a Junk against Goblin. That's another hit against the enemy. And then Foxy kills the Goblin and the Junk behind them in the same round. I'm eking out a lot of money here, I gotta say. I feel pretty good about that. Porcupine and the Frostinger on the top line. There's Ringer now as our boss. 15 health, 5 damage. When hit, apply 2 Frost to a random enemy. We're going to be able to negate a lot of this with the Flask of Ink. Don't need to play that this round because the enemy is not what's the word I'm looking for here? Being attacked this round. I'm going to use a Gear Hammer on one of the top line targets. Effectively just buying myself a turn here. Trade Foxy down here to the bottom line. I wonder if maybe I want to put Eloise on the top. Currently, I guess my board is only really striking the Ringer for 4 damage. 3 damage even. Doesn't really seem that good right now. Also, the Ringer can just get blocked 3 times by Junkhead. Yeah, I don't need to actually do the thing that I was planning around at the moment. And if I'm not hitting the enemy, I'm not using Flask of Ink. And if I'm not using Flask of Ink, I'm gonna reload this hand. I'm gonna throw some Gear Hammers out. One more Gear Hammer against the Frostinger in the back line. Snoof then clears up the Porcupine. Double combo. And now it really does just come down to how soon can you attack Junkhead so that I can play Sun Song Box on Foxy. I'm gonna Flask of Ink the Ringer here, because otherwise I am going to be getting a bunch of their effect here. I want to send the freeze at them, but I don't. I want to pass the I don't really have the ability to pass the turn as much. Sure, I'm gonna use this Nozuka on Junkhead, getting myself a trash in hand, and then get another trash when the Ringer attacks. And then I'm gonna use the Sunsong box, finally, on Foxy, who will do they deal damage now! How exciting. Wait, they deal damage, yeah, and they act basically constantly. Perfect. Goodbye, Ringer. Meet Gearhammer. This is a toughie. They're offering on the top line 2 different treasure boxes and a Frozen Travelers. That's a lot more direction I would be able to give my deck. It's a lot more meaning I would be able to give to GG's Cookie Box, especially, coming to mind. However, on the bottom line, we have money, a charm, and then a shop. This gives me a lot of different choices. This gives me a large density of choices. Like, I have to make a specific choice here on the treasure, specific choice here, specific choice here. I can hold all of my benefits until I get to the woolly snail and then make a bunch of choices at the same time to make something more cohesive, possibly. At least that's what I'm going to tell myself as I make this choice. Certainly the intent. Frenzy Charm adds ×1 for its triggers and gain Consume. So I don't think you can give Consume to anything that doesn't already have, or that does already have Consume. So can't put it on GG's box. Got it. Increase damage by 2, and then count down your counter by 2. It also says recycle 1. Would it double trigger the effect recycle 1, or is recycle 1 the cost I would need to pay in the first instance? Ooh, that's difficult to tell. Let's move ahead to the woolly snail before I decide what to do with that. Noblin. Gosh. These are all good. These are all frustratingly good. Oh no. Okay, let's go through it. Blaze Bomb, top left. 0 damage, but it applies a frenzy and adds 4 bomb. Bomb we've seen before increases damage taken from all sources. But if something had bomb, and then I struck it with Foxy, Foxy would just cut through it. Foxy attacks 3 times, so with a target that has, 15 health, Foxy slices through them every 2 turns. Bomb doesn't decrease over time as well, so it would be a lot of vulnerability for a character. The only problem is then I also would need to lock them down in a different way to prevent their frenzy from just completely ruining my party. We also have the Noomlin Biscuit here, add Noomlin to a card in hand. I do really still quite like that. Highly rated, especially in a deck where I intend to be cycling consistently. Forging Stove comes to mind as also being exceptionally powerful here. Destroy a card in your hand, add its damage to a random ally. So early on, my random allies out on board tend to be Eloise and Foxy, and if I give Foxy a crown here, I'm very likely to give Foxy a crown here, then I'm probably going to end up in that situation many more times. And in that situation, if I gave Frenzy and Consume to the Forging Stove, so the Forging Stove destroys 2 cards in hand and it consumes itself, it gives the power of both of those cards 2 units on the board, and then here is the top of it all. I also then buy the Pombum, which has 5 damage by base. So if the Forging Stove hits the Pombum especially, I'm just giving 5 damage to a target on board, as well as destroying 3 cards from my in-play deck, giving me a lot of ability to cycle through the ones that otherwise are more meaningful to me consistently. Oh, I got too excited talking about that, now I have to do it. I was kind of trying to move myself in a different direction if possible there, but alas. I am actually almost keen to get a Blaze Bomb as well here, maybe. But it has 0 damage. No! I'm gonna get the crown! I'm gonna give the crown to Foxy. Get crowned. And then I am going to give Frenzy and Consume to the Forging Stove. Let's do this! Alright, Bamboozle. How's it going, bud? There's Foxy. Of course they are. I gave them the crown. I forgot about that for a millisecond. My apologies. Wait, why am I? No! Screw you! No apologies! I didn't do anything wrong! Not wrong enough to... Anyway, Pombum is probably gonna be secondary here to playing Snoof. I can then play Pombum and just murder Bamboozle immediately. Sorry, not Bamboozle, Baby Snowbow on the bottom line. I don't ultra want to play any of the rest of these. Oh, cycle. I want to get to my trash earlier, my Forging Stove. Oh, I'm so pleased with this. Now it's time to play Forging Stove, destroying the Gear Hammer. What? What? What's the frenzy effect if it only increases by 2 damage? What? Frenzy, trigger multiple times, right? We'll have to look at that at a different time. Cards are... Oh wait, no, I can look at it here. Destroy a card in hand, add its damage to a random ally. Frenzy, trigger multiple times. So I think this doesn't trigger multiple times because it doesn't have the ability to immediately give you a second prompting for a card to destroy. Because it can't be, because the charm adds consume as well as frenzy. So it can't be, you know, it will always consume on the first play. I understand also it's not multiple plays of a card, it is trigger the effect of the card multiple times. The problem is the effect doesn't seem to have the ability to trigger multiple. I really wish I could take that charm off of that. Alas. I'm gonna strike the Gear Hammer against the Bamboozle. Break out those bad boys. Fight's gotten a lot tougher now. And so Boozle applies a Frost and attacks in Wild. Unfortunately, the Winter Worm is also attacking for 6 damage this turn. Eloise does have the ability to stand up against that, but no one else in my party does. Unfortunately, if that does get through as well, it's quite difficult for me to respond. I don't have that much damage available on my board also, because I haven't been able to get junk and I've got the Sunsong box in this hand and Literally the worst available target was the one that got buffed by the forging. It's fine, it happens. Gosh. It almost feels like redrawing into junk hands as soon as possible is essential. Oh boy. Yep. There's a Pombum. Eloise is still alive. Barely. You can do 5 damage to 3 different targets on board. Grouchy just dies, so does Snowbow. Bam takes 5 damage. Seems one of the better available options to me right now. So now I do actually have Sunsong in the hand with Junk, so I will have the ability to get Foxy to attack for full 6 here. Taking out Boozle. That does Frenzy for Bam, but I can protect with Junkhead. Also, this... Oh, Foxy's attacking again already. Nice. I mean, if Snorf attacks on the top line... You should be all comfy with just this. Goodbye, Bam. So, how many kills can I line up at the same time here? Foxy murders Bam and then murders Snowbow behind them? So it really just comes down to whether or not I can also kill the Snorf on the top line. I can't imagine I can. I'll dig into my deck to see if it's possible though. Do I have a murder in here? Alas. Give him the Bam. Good work, Foxy. Card draw for consistency. I'm just gonna need it earlier on to make up for some of the things that have happened. It's still not worth removing the Forging Stone from, like, it's still good. Let me go down here to the Ice Caves. Reduce counter by 1. Recycle 1. And then consume. You know what? It's Molten Dip for me. Increase damage by 2, barrage, consume. I need some damage that I can put on the you. I 100% wouldn't. No, because it has consume. I wouldn't be able to give that frenzy. Okay, never mind. We're good. We're good. What's happening in this ice? We see Folby and Hazeblazer. We've seen the 2 before, but here's Biji. 6 health, 0 damage. Applies 2 bomb. Increase by 1 when hit. I do want to damage take a unit. It's gotta be Folby right now. Now I'm gonna need some additional things that eat up the junk that we're gonna be consistently making. Magma Booster. Increase damage by 3, but add Aimless to the target. I mean, assumedly I would be able to play that on Foxy. An Aimless Foxy? I think I'll be able to choose when I think that's going to be a benefit to us well enough. I'm going to take that and mosey on out. Here we go. Time to fight the shells. Shell Witch and Conqueror on the top line. There is Pecan on the bottom. One of the first things I'm going to want to do is try and take out Conqueror on the top line, or at least a significant amount of their shell, because they deal damage based on the amount of shell they have. Oh baby, Sunsong Box and Forging Stone both here in the opening hand. Yes, that's what we want to see. a buff Foxy. Foxy murders the Shell Witch immediately. I used the forging stove. It buffs Eloise. That's not Foxy. Do I want to just roll? Yep, get closer to my molten dip. Let's draw. So on activation here, Pecan is going to gain 2 shell and deal 4 damage to our frontliner. I mean, I do feel like I could just pop a Junkhead in front of them appropriately here. I could take the 2 damage that Conquer on the top line's threatening. Nah, I'm just gonna murder you with a Gear Hammer and then have Foxy start working on the Pecan on the bottom line. Start moving towards a better board state in general. Let's now get down a defensive unit in Folby. This also now gives me 3 units in the line who will all be affected by Molten Dip. Makes me feel a lot better about playing it. Nice. Eloise is going to barrage, so I definitely want you on the line with all of the enemies there. 2 instances of damage. The Junkhead's about to go down this round, but... Aimless would override Barrage, I believe. If I gave Aimless to Eloise, it would remove Barrage, I think. I'm gonna roll. Go Magma Booster. Foxy is now aimless. However, if I play the Sun Song box on Foxy, with the junk I have in hand, I get a triple kill right now. Beautiful. Welcome out, Bolgo. When hit, gain 1 damage. Now I could just completely nullify that right now if I want to with the Flask of Ink first up. So I will. No damage gain for you, mister. I'm gonna play a Pom Bomb for 5 damage to the top target. Effectively recognizing that there's no, there's no point doing anything except for just waiting for Foxy to end their lives. Get him, Foxy. Two treasures is probably too many right now. Let's get the first one first. Totem of the Gotem. Before an enemy attacks, apply a demonize to them. Wow. Really? Just that? Just like, just put that in the background and then if an enemy ever attacks? Man, do I let my enemies attack that often? I feel like Foxy just murders them before it can happen. There's also a Storm Globe. Apply 4 Frost, or Snow rather. Reduced by 1 when played. I mean, having the ability to more reasonably account for an enemy that has reaction, especially, seems like it would be worthwhile. Bomb Barrel is here. Applies 4. That's 4 bomb. Hits all enemies. Adds 4 trash to hand. God, I really want that. It'd make the rest of our cycles suck, but we would kill the enemies with Eloise and Foxy so quickly. I can also just decide whether or not to play it based around whether or not I think it will help me in this fight. I don't have to play it in every fight. Hello, Charmer. Gain Hog-Headed and 7 HP. Hog-Headed cannot be recalled. I'm pretty likely to just want to put this on a big dude like Folby. Have 19 health on that target. I don't love the idea of recalling Foxy at any point. But I think that's easier to avoid by buffing someone else's defense than Foxy's. Annoying! They have teeth. I need to murder this marrow on the top line, which is giving 3 teeth to all allies. While you live, I will never rest. Okay, I'm gonna put Snoof on the top line and then Junkhead down next. Junkhead is going to block Grumble, giving me a trash in hand. Marrow takes 3 damage on the top line. Snoof is about to try and freeze Marrow. If I use Molten Dip here, I can deal 5 damage to Marrow, and then next turn I would use Sunsong Box. Oh, God. Smog adds aimless to all enemies, including Snoof in the back line, who then immediately died by attacking. Didn't forget about that. Foxy was about to possibly die by trying to do something to Smog. Yeah, gosh. I just have to Flask of Ink Smog so that we don't have aimless on all of us, so that Eloise can strike through to 2 targets here, and then Foxy can murder Marrow. And then I'm going to Sunsong Box Foxy so that I have additional damage on them. Foxy then murders 1 target on the field and gets ready for the next. Pombum could even go out now for 5 damage against all targets on field. Seems a great time for it. Let's do a big redraw here. So Foxy is about to send out 3 strikes. If I hit the Pawpaw with a Gear here, I can get Foxy to remove the entire bottom line. Oh no, not the entire bottom line. Pawpaw will actually murder Foxy if I do that. Oh, these teeth. I'm gonna drop out Folby, giving me some health protection here. Right, of course Foxy still dies, does it? I don't know how I thought that was still gonna be safe for Foxy. That's gonna cause problems. That's gonna cause some big problems. Cycle here. Folby next turn does have the ability to murder Pawpaw, taking 4 damage back for having done so though. Next turn I'll decide whether or not I'm going to blow up the Pombum. But I think I'm going to have to make Folby powerful because Folby's just got enough health to stay on the board. So yeah, Morjaw says trigger when hit. And this is why I thought Aimless was going to overwrite Barrage, because when Smog does it to you, it does. Giving 5 damage to a random target on board through the Forging Stove does seem really nice. So Grumble's going to attack for 2 against Folby, give us a trashing hand. If I Flask of Ink Smog in the back line, I guarantee that I am no longer aimless. Never mind. Wait! Morjaw triggers when hit, but it doesn't counterattack, so it does attack Folby instead of attacking Eloise. I thought I was possibly about to have just lost there. I can now murder Smog with my own Gear Hammer, preventing their effect from ever coming back. Pull into the redraw here. Oh boy. I think this is the end of this run. So Grumble does 2 to Folby, then Morjaw does 5 to Folby, kills Folby. I just do not have enough attack and health on board to remain after that. Additional damage from all sources on Morjaw, triggers when hit and will attack, so yeah, I just don't have a way to remove Morjaw. Get him! Alright. 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 I see more things now. I see more strategies, I see more ways to go, and more things that don't particularly work. Fader, when deployed, summon Fallow. This is pretty good presence on board immediately. Beak, every 4 turns, attack twice for 3 damage. Quite basic, but neat. Actually, Milonk plans to do that aimlessly. I mean, you aren't Milonk for long. You are a classic Eloise if I've ever seen one. Rename, and let's go. More Frost, lean into it with Snoof. You know what? I just haven't taken Loki yet. I'm taking Loki. I don't know, maybe they're amazing. Only one way to find out. Ooh, Sunsong Box. Already with the ability to be played in hand. Yeah, I do want to increase the damage of the person who has multi-strike like this. Do I need to play it right now, though? No, Loki goes out first. So Snoof in the back line is about to be quite annoying. I'm going to use a Gear Hammer to take out Pengoons. Snoof then is going to freeze Loki. However, Eloise will murder the Snoof in response and set up the Chungoon on the top line to a Gear Hammer. Oh wow, you just skip the rounds until I need to fight again. I see. I kind of want to just throw the Gear Hammer immediately, just get another hit on the Goblins. We're a wee bit ahead at the moment. Get Junkhead out for the top line so that I can start setting up for the possibility of another Sunsong box soon. Also, gets the Snowzooker into the critical position. So I'm going to do 4 damage to Goblin and murder it, and then I'm going to do less to the Waddle Goons. Thanks for the junk, nerd! Samsung box some of that junk away. Big Peng. Just Big Peng and a bunch of penguins. I mean, it does feel like I should throw the Snowzuka before I consider doing another thing here, so I will. Big Peng also says they gain a damage whenever an ally is killed. If I want to, I can just murder 2 of their allies this round and use a flask of ink to prevent Big Peng from even getting any damage out of it. Just nullify them as much as is possible. Loki's about to kill a Pengoon, so if I use a Gear Hammer, I can get a combo this turn. And now it's just you and me, Big Peng. And Eloise and Loki. Gonna play that Demonize anytime soon, buddy? No need. Get him. You know, there's probably there's probably an achievement for killing that guy without killing any of his friends. A Bling Snail Cave, treasure, frozen travelers. Oh man. I do need frozen traveler. You know what? Boom, we're going for both frozen travelers. Help me define my strat. There's a Nom and Stompy right there. That's what that is. That's his Nom and Stompsies. I've already got one. I mean, look, I've got no real direction in here just yet. Noms and Stompsies. Gimme. I like him. Very large unit. And a charm for gaining 5 from each kill. Oh, yes. That, I feel like that has to go on Eloise. With Aimless, they do it more often. Sorry, with Frenzy, they do it more often. With Aimless, they also do it slightly more often. Although I guess I am about to go to another Frozen Traveler, so I'll hold off for just a moment here. Well, I mean, is there ever a good reason to hold off for just a moment like this? Maybe, maybe. Foxy. Oh, wow, that's cool. Foxy has 3 Frenzy. We've seen Foxy before. Foxy is Foxy. Mini Mika, when hit with junk, so we would have to effectively spend a turn doing this, but it's a resource that we often have access to, gain a Frenzy. This grows larger over the course of the battle. Cool. And then there's Tinkerson Jr. While active, add equal damage to all junk in your hand. So I'm assuming that is equal damage to Tinkerson's damage. But I also don't really care about my junk having damage in that way. I hate to just do the same thing I've done in previous runs. I know I have Nom and Stompy here. And I really feel like Foxy's the right choice, especially with Bling Charm. Come on, Foxy. We can do this. It's time to make some money. A Mimic, a Porcupine, and Frostinger out on the board. Oh, we do have Junkhead. Excellent. I'm gonna put Nom and Stompy out first. Use Junkhead when I need to immediately block against the Frostinger attack. Although I guess I should probably prevent the Mimic from attacking as well. I'll do that next round with the Gear Hammer. Use Gear Hammer to kill the Mimic as well as buff itself. That also was a card destroyed for the sake of Nom and Stompy. Frostinger then attacks Junkhead, giving Junkhead negative damage. Junkhead does not give a single heck about it. Sunsong Box. I really wanted to play that on Foxy, but also the Sunsong Box doesn't consume. I can do that later. Let's get Eloise to basically immediately murder Porcupine here. Do I want to draw forward to get to Foxy sooner rather than later? I think so. I draw forward, I get Foxy out on the board. Now Snowzuka is active as well. I think I'm going to use a Gear Hammer to take out the Ice Lantern in the back line, preventing the excess damage from... Oh, I don't need to do that this round. Yeah, I don't need to do that this round. Frostinger is already doing no damage. Junkhead doesn't take damage like that. I'm going to use a Gear Hammer against Frostinger instead. And then sorry, I should have used the Gear Hammer on Gobbling in the last round instead. Damn it! I really wanted Eloise to kill the Frostinger with the 2-hit combo there, giving Foxy the ability to also kill someone. That would have been another combo as well as a trigger of 5 Bling from Foxy. Dang. That said, I can just hit the Gobbling with nothing for a little period of time here in order to eke out a wee bit more money. Let's redraw and then see if I get a Gear Hammer. Oh my god, I do. This is so good. I use the Gear Hammer to put the Goblin down to 1. Foxy then murders the Frostinger, then the Goblin, then the Ice. A triple combo and gains 15 for the triple kill as well on top of that. Oh, making money moves. Alright. Eloise now has the ability on the top line to just outright murder Porcupine. Love that for them. Frost is not going to be especially important in this battle. I'm gonna start trying to just remove the Frostinger with spells. So Frostinger attacks and does nothing. Foxy then murders Frostinger and does 1 damage to the Ringer, and then Nom and Stompy go through for another 10 damage against the Ringer. Love it. I'm just gonna redraw. In fact, I can get the kill on Foxy here if I use the Sunsong box to buff Foxy's damage. And then I just need to block for you. Oh, and Eloise needs to attack after Foxy. So, just that. Although, hang on. I'm gonna use Flask of Ink here to prevent Foxy from losing the ability to get the kill themselves by downgrading their own damage by striking Ringer in the first place. That was a lot of money from a single fight. I think we did pretty well there. Both paths lead to a woolly snail, that's what I like to see, maybe. I do have probably enough units. I don't really have enough treasure is the thing. I really want the treasure, I don't want the Frozen Travelers from the top line. I'm gonna go for the Bling Snail Cave, and then a Charm, and then a Shop. Trying to give myself more treasure choices in the shop, ultimately, by doing this. Cake Charm. Boost effects by 5 and gain consume. What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you do? What do you mean? What do you mean? Okay. You know what? I would love if it would also show me on hover over. What? Are you going to increase the damage of this by 6, but also the countdown reduction is now 6, but also it has recycle 6? Is that what's going on? I can only assume. Let's go to the shop. Does damage count as an effect? Probably not, right? Berry Blade. Restore health to front ally equal to damage dealt. Super Snower. Apply 4 snow, but you need to recycle 2 of the junk out of your hand in order to do so. The Slap Crackers. 1 damage. Aimless. Strikes 4 times. None of these are what I wanted to see, admittedly. Foxy needs to come out as soon as possible. Crown get. Crown give. Crown wear. I kind of want to get double charms, but I recognize, like, that's so much investment on cards in hand that may not necessarily be giving me the value that I'm looking for from them. I'm gonna get the Noomlin Biscuit. And I'm gonna take another charm. Alright, charm. Woo me. Reduce counter by 1. Just straight up reduce counter by 1. Love that. Foxy should definitely have that. Ooh, you're so much faster. It would definitely say recycle 6. Boosts effects by 5. It's just I wish I knew what effects meant in a more comprehensive fashion. I think part of my confusion here is because things that I had previously attempted to read intuitively, I have not always worked out in the way as I had intended. Eloise and Foxy. Get him. I mean, I really do just want to put Noomlin out on something as soon as I can. Let's Noomal... Well, actually, really Loki should go out first. And then Junkhead to protect Snowbow. Or against Snowbow and give me a trash in hand. Then I'm going to use Noomlin on one of the Gear Hammers. Loki's going to make someone demonized in the line. Hell yes, as the Windworm on the top line. I'm going to use the Gear Hammer to deal 4 damage to that target. Then Eloise is also aimless. It's quite likely I managed to take out the Windworm in the back line soon. I'm going to throw another Gear Hammer at him. Never mind, that's not how that worked out. That said, I don't really need the Snowzerker right now. I am going to force the redraw here. I do have a junk in hand. Sunsong Box will give me the ability to get Foxy to attack this round. Murdering Bamboozle. Do I want to do that before I put Nom and Stompy out, though? I thinkn't. And then no one's stomping on the top line. So I'm looking for something more like... I play the Sunsong Box on Foxy. Foxy immediately murders Bamboozle. Bamboozle splits. Winterworm deals 5 damage against Junkhead. Yeah, this is all good now. Sunsong Box, go out. Boom. Zulf. There goes the trash on the top line. Had to happen sooner or later. Loki, that's not an especially effective target for you've chosen. I think I would rather Boozle freeze Loki this round. I can draw back quite consistently into reasonably useful pulls. Winterworm does just need to die. I murder Winterworm. I'm gonna try and get Snowbo or Eloise not to waste damage on these bottom liners. I'm gonna Gear Hammer one of the Snowbows. If Eloise strikes that Snowbow first, they'll kill it, and then have to pass the damage to a different useful unit. I can force a redraw right now, or I could prevent Boozle from applying Frost and having Wild for a period of time, which would then give me the ability to kill Boozle without, you know, negative... no, this is fine. Nom and Stompy is so close to attacking for a total of 10 by themselves. Okay, so if I Sunsong box Foxy here, Foxy then deals 9 damage to Boozle, and Nom and Stompy doesn't attack this round, but next round we can get lethals. I like that. So realistically, I want Boozle to attack. Sorry, I want Snowbow to attack, and then I want Foxy to murder Boozle, then Snowbow. And I do that by throwing a single Gear Hammer at Boozle, and then just waiting. Unfortunately, I did lose Loki there. I should have put Loki on a different line in order to prevent that possibility. Got a lot of money out of it, though. Sunbell of Hands, Sunbell of Friendship, and the Sunbellabell. Go for the draw. Every single time I will consider it before going for the draw. That was a coaster that was supposed to be hanging to the bottom of the giant carafe of water I drink from every single time that I have finished a fight. Stay hydrated. Alright, Bling Snail? It does take me down towards the woolly snail, which is not a choice. Money. Finally find something I might want to cake charm. You know what I like the most? Cake charms. Alright. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Snuffle, Bijie, and Blunky. So Blunky would be the ability for me to get a lot of blocking out. I can play Blunky, they have block, I throw Blunky back into the deck, I play Blunky again, they have block. You know, it's some very useful chump ability. Something that I'm kind of lacking in the deck at the moment, where I don't want Nom and Stompy to be taking certain negative effects, and Eloise's health is starting to fall behind. Snuffle, however, on every 4, applying 1 snow to all enemies, just holding them for a round, it's not bad. Bijie, obviously, applying bomb, taking additional damage from all sources, increases by 1 when hit. I do love the idea of that. It's just I would also have to find a way to get more health on Bijie. I think the thing I'm missing the most right now is probably block. I'm taking Blunky. And I do think I take that over Loki. Alright, let's go to the woolly snail. So, berry basket, restore. Not increase, but restore 2 health, barrage. There's Frenzy Wrench, adds a frenzy to an item in your hand, but you have to recycle 2 junk in order to cast it in the first instance. We don't actually have that much junk, unfortunately. Wait. Countdown barrage? Sorry, countdown counter by 1. Now, a thing I need to know, because it's gonna be very, very relevant here, is, If something has a counter limit of 2, and you count down its barrage by, say, 6, I don't know, you're 5 more than what's listed on this card, does that card then attack 3 times? Does that card attack 3 times? There's only one way for us to find out, right? I take the Sunlight Drum. Now, I have also heard I could cheat it out a little bit here. Give me the crown. Give me the crown. Give me the crown. Come on, I can afford the crown. Come on, I'm so close to being able to buy that crown. It's like only 4 away. Give me the crown. Come on, I'd like that crown though. What if, you know, can you do 76 for it? Actually, recently I've been going through a bit of turmoil. I can't do 80, but 76. How about 76? I think it's worth 70. I've got a guy who actually sells these for 75 down the street. I can just go to him, right? Okay, never mind. I really thought that was gonna work eventually. It's possible I've just been extremely bamboozled by my own comment section and audience, in which case, well done. Snowcake for applying 12 snow to a single target and consume. I could take that, maybe, as well as the charm from a charm machine. Yes. Yes. Okay, so I think I've figured out what effect means. I think effect is any of the numbers that are in yellow that aren't keywords. I think that's what I'm going to be using going forward. And I'm taking a charm. Give me a charm. Set health, damage, and counter to 3. I think this will override other charms in this instance on Foxy, I have to imagine. I could put this on Blunky. It just gives them more health and more damage if I ever want them to be a unit that does remain on the board for a period of time? I don't know. I don't think it's important to put that on a unit right now. We'll still take Snowcake here. Being able to elect a target to not care about for a period of time is pretty good for us. Honestly, the main reason I want to take it is it will give me a response. Allow me to have this one. Come on, I'm only missing this by 2. There's a guy down the street, as I mentioned, sells the previous ones for 75, sells these for 12. I'll go buy 4 of them and bring them back right here. If you give me this one in good faith, just ahead of time. I mean, look, you know, there's no gain without investment in this instance. Surely you as a shop owner, maybe it's only when you're 1 off. Or, again, I've been extremely well trolled. Let's go to this battle. Grumps, Grog, and the Pepper Witch. It's just such a band name. Okay. I'm gonna Noomlin my Sunsong box, because I can actually junk with that in hand already. When hit, down your counter by 1. Don't love that. I'm gonna Sunsong Foxy. And then I'm gonna Sunlight Drum. No, I should really wait until I get Nom and Stumpy out of the board before I use the big old Sunlight Drum. But I want to. I'm also going to need to start trying to remove the Pepper Witch in the back line. She doesn't actually gain the spice. She says she only adds it to all allies in a row. That doesn't count herself. So I'm going to start working on her. Then Foxy murders Grog. Eloise murders Pepper Witch. When hit, reduce the attacker's damage by 1. I do need to deal with Grumps. So I'm going to start using some spells there. Ideally, I'm able to get my ink out against Grumps this turn, which we can. Neat. Preventing them from just completely ruining my board state. I need that damage, buddy. That's mine. I got it, like, intentionally. I specifically did that. Time to get Nom and Stompy out on the board. I see that Sunlight Drum sitting in hand. I see what it can do. Okay, if Sunlight Drum goes out immediately, Eloise will attack randomly with 2 targets first. I think I want Foxy to murder Grumps before that occurs. Sunlight Drum. Okay, so it will reduce them to 0. It won't overflow past that point and give you a secondary wave of attacks. Unfortunate, alas. I do want to get more damage on Foxy right now. And I am going to need Junk in hand soon. Maybe it's time to get my Junkhead out. Let's do our redraw, trying to get closer to the ink as well. Oh! Perfect. I'm going to throw a Sun Song on Foxy, because we do have the junk in hand for it. I'm going to flask up Grumps, then Foxy is going to murder the Pepper Witch and start striking away at Grumps. Eloise will murder Grumps in the next round. I can pre-play Blunky here just to get me the ability to get into the next round with both of these powered-up Gear Hammers still in hand. Welcome, King Moko. So, when hit, apply 3 spice to everyone in battle. Got it. Got it. Got it. So this is what I do. Right? And then I strike you with a Gear Hammer. Makoko hits Junkhead, gives me a trash in hand. Blunky hits King Moko again, and then Foxy attacks for 1,000,000,000,000 damage points. Actually, I can also get Foxy to do their attack from the bottom line and take out the Pepper Witch and start working upwards. Yeah, the fewer units I have to deal with, the better off I'm going to be. Get him, Foxy. Okay, Makoko's again going to attack against a target that doesn't really care about it. 22 damage coming out from Nom and Stompy here in the next round. Do I want to start focusing on being able to deal with Makoko in the backline by dealing in death? Not really. I Gear Hammer Makoko, King Moko again. More than happy to go for the full redraw this turn. If I use Nom and Stompy for the block here on the top line, I may actually already have the kill. I already do have the kill, actually, if I do that. Yeah, in fact, even if I don't. Cool. You know what? Get him, Foxy. 1, 2, and then murder the one behind as well. So that's so much money. Foxy is just printing cash. I love it. What are you, the mint? Alright, Loki's recovered from injuries. Good to see, good to see, good to see. Still not gonna really be using you immediately. And then I'm gonna go for the treasure beforehand. Oh. This is interesting. Okay. So, Pom Pom deals 5 damage to all enemies that aren't hit, right? Okay, then there's Blunder Tank here as well. Triggers when junk is destroyed. So it'll trigger each of the times I recycle. But I don't do that often enough to really plan theoretically around using the 5 damage the Blunder Tank would be able to do. It'd be cool, but I can't do it, unfortunately. The ICGM triggers multiple times equal to how much scrap it has, does 10 damage to each target, and then destroys self. We do have the Sunlight Drum. It's not impossible for me to just trigger the ICGM. So, I'm gonna try and do that. Go Bling Snail Cave and get myself some more treasure. Show me your most treasurable items. Gachapompa. While active, adds barrage to all allies in row. Oh, buddy. That's really powerful. I want it. I want it so damn bad. Add scrap, recycle. So that would give me the ability to add more scrap to the ICGM. I really want that gachapompa to work out though. Go into a battle. Oh, it's you. Oh no, Marrow's in the backline now as well. Yeah. Although I guess Smog is already adding aimless to all allies, so hardly really changes much. If I put out the gachapompa, would it work? There's a huge problem here. I think I need to force the draw this turn so that I can get to Flask of Ink. Because if I can't prevent Marrow from giving teeth to every target on board, I just outright lose. Okay. You do what you can. Alright. I want Foxy to attack Smog, I think, here. Now, in 2 turns' time, Eloise will have the ability to murder Smog on the bottom line with the assistance of Foxy. Getting Nom and Stompy out would give me the ability to start trying to control the top line. This is like basically the worst available draw for us, unfortunately. Yeah, so Eloise is going to strike Smog 2 times, applying 2 frost. Foxy is then going to murder Smog and then deal 2 damage to the top line, revealing them to the possibility of 10 damage taking them out, but that's still not super likely. I really need to get Marrow off the board as soon as possible. If there are 2 Marrows out on the board, I will just lose instantaneously. I wonder if that means that I need to not deal with Smog. No, Smog needs to go off the board. I can't. I need to be able to aim at targets. The best chance I have of getting an established presence back on this board is with the drum, but I would need that this turn. I should have redrawn last turn. Can't do that now, though. As in, can't do last turn's redraw now, though. I can do this turn's redraw instead. Well, I get my Flask of Ink back. I absolutely cannot strike that Pawpaw at all. Yeah, no thorns for everyone, please. It does feel like I might need to call back Nom and Stompy soon, unfortunately. So if I target this top line with a Sunlight Drum, I can get Nom and Stompy to immediately kill Grumble, then Foxy starts striking at Marrow, and then Eloise, worst case scenario, starts freezing Paw in the back line. I want to use 2 Gear Hammers to take Paw out. It's difficult though. With only 1 damage actually coming out from the enemy right now, I kind of want to put Eloise there and then just put the ICGM down. The problem is with 13 counter, it's probably not even worth putting the ICGM down anymore, unless I just want it to block 4 instances of damage, which is fine. It's not unthinkable to want that. Yeah, I feel like Nom and Stompy has to go back into the deck now. Gonna need additional health in order to continue this. And admittedly, I'm also gonna need a new hand past this. Do I think the ICGM is gonna block enough damage that's gonna be worth my while to play? I think so. Let's go for a redraw. Oh no. I have to go to the top line and use a Gear Hammer to take out the Paw in the back line, otherwise Eloise dies. I do get to take Marrow off the board before I then strike Paw for the first time at least, though. Okay. So Mawjaw triggers when hit and strikes forward, so Blunky is still a double block for that, which is useful, great, helpful, thank you. But they also trigger when hit, so I don't really want to hit them multiple times. Wherein I can avoid it. Unless, of course, I've frosted them. I may need to redraw right now. The consideration for this comes out of the fact that if I play something like, you know, Gachapompa, just gives me some more units to start working with here. I'm effectively waiting for Foxy's next attack, and if Foxy attacks Paw, I lose Foxy, and if Foxy attacks Mawjaw, I probably lose the game. So maybe I do need Junkhead up on the top line. Something to help block. So Foxy would have to strike the front line 3 times, and then it would have to take out Junkhead, but we would still be okay at the end of all of that. Do I want 3 in this hand? Yeah, I think we're fine. Do I want to use Blunky to try and block for the units at the moment, or do I start throwing out more gear hammers for the sake of being able to take out the Paw later? More gear hammers, I think. Amazing, we didn't even trigger the Maw. Okay, so yeah, now I can get to work here. I was actually expecting to have a chunk in hand from at least one more Jaw hit to give me the ability to play Sunsong Box, but that's less important right now. I'm gonna redraw. Maybe I want to turn off trigger when hit this turn. Yeah. I don't need that many responses from you. Get a junk in hand here, and then that gives me the ability to play my Sunsong Box. Which I could play this turn, or I could just play next turn to immediately force the attack. If I play it next turn, I can use the Gear Hammer, however, to remove a target off field first. Ooh, do I just want to murder Smog with the Gear Hammer? Yep. Now, I've got 1 junk forward, no junk backwards, and Trash Head still on the field. It just doesn't feel like Sunsong Box makes any kind of sense here. Sorry, a Noomlin Biscuit on the Sunsong Box. I'll use Snowzuka to prevent more of these reactions from the Jaw. Throw out a casual Sunsong. Now, how much of this can I get Foxy to do at the same time? So, Foxy is about to do 6 damage to Maw. Okay. If I use a Gear Hammer on Grumble in the bottom line, then another Gear Hammer on Grumble in the bottom line, and get this, 1 final Gear Hammer that does slightly less damage than the previous one on Grumble on the bottom line, we can get Foxy to take a double kill as well as kill 2 targets on board. Those are 2 different things. One of them is a combo kill, and one of them is the bonuses that Foxy gets from the charm. I'm separating these intentionally, rather than being tautological. I guess it is, in a way, tautological, but it does point specifically at 2 different sources. Muncher. Do I have some munchies to munch? Do I have some chunchy munchies? I don't think so. Let's go to the Lightstone Cave first. Makes the most immediate sense. Yeah, no, I'm going to treasure. More tools, please. Tutorian, trigger a random ally, lose 1, and it's on a 4 countdown. Love it. That's something that then I will be able to, very, hopefully at least, incorporate into a Sunlight Drum play. Let's get Nom and Stompy to have a crown right now so that I do have my most ambitious unit affected as early as possible here. Reduce counter by 1. Recycle 1. Consume. So reduce. Not count down by 1. Reduce. So this would just have Foxy attacking every round. Proto Stomper. Does 8 damage. Trash 2. Neat. Lumen Lantern. Boost a random ally's effects by 1. Boost a random enemy's effects by 2. Tough. There's also a Magma Booster here. Increase damage by 3, add aimless to the target. I don't know if I can put that on like Eloise. I can put it on Foxy though. And 3 damage and aimless is pretty big. Crown get. Crown give. Crown wear. Let's get a Magma Booster. Let's also get a Charm from the Charm Machine. Ooh, gain Fury 3. Deals additional damage while alone a row. I'm gonna save that for later and then buy another Charm. Gain Hog-Headed plus 7. Can it be recalled? Alright, I think that's us done here. Give me the sun cream. Give me the sun cream. Give me the sun cream. Let me have the sun cream. Give me the sun cream. Can I have the sun cream? Please? Come on. Is it worth your time to deny me this sun cream? Is it worth 2 bling to you to have to repeat yourself this consistently? Evidently it was. You've outpatiented me. No ability to bring it back. You know what? I could theoretically just put that on Blunky. I'm not going to do a lot of throwing Blunky back to hand. I have other blockers. I could just give Blunky, like, health and thing, and then put down a Hog Charm as well. And it's just a big dude that sits there and takes damage. Get him, Blunky. Also, Fury. I mean, I love the idea of putting that on Foxy, but it doesn't seem like Foxy will really care that much about it. Oh, ICGM does have the ability to pick it up. I'm gonna put it on Foxy regardless. It's still better on them, rather than any other unit at the moment. Time for the boss. Hello, Crunker. You got your backline bombard set up, eh? Okay, Non-Stompy, Foxy, and Eloise up here on the top line. We don't have a junk in hand at the moment, unfortunately. Okay. Yeah, let me just figure out what I'm doing. I think I Noomlin my Sun Song and then I put out my Junkhead really early here, get myself all of the trash that I require. Crunker's not attacking this turn, although Foxy is, so Foxy can stand alone on a row in order to deal 12 damage total. 3 different instances here. Let's get Junkhead up there. Giving me the trash in hand that I'm going to need. I can Noomlin with the Sunbox in the next round as well, thankfully. So it doesn't even commit me to my action yet. Which is great, because the Crunker has obviously got to come down here to take the 8 damage instance. I should probably start using some of these gear hammers. A couple instances of damage could not go astray. I could also get Foxy to murder Grink if I use a gear hammer on Grink this round. That's better. That's better. Love to remove target from field. Okay. Eloise, you are aimless, so on the top line, you will just freeze Crunker in the back line, but here you will have the ability to take out the Spuncher. Spunch him. And then freeze Crunker in the back line as well. Seems great to me. I'm gonna get a Tutorian out. Or you could just straight up skip the Spuncher. That's fine too. Foxy will happily clear up after that. Yeah, it's time for a cycle. I'm looking to hold the drum in hand, not use the drum necessarily immediately, but have it. It'd just make me more comfortable if I had the drum. I also want to put the gachapompa down. If I make you aimless, and then put the gachapompa down, or put the gachapompa down and then make you aimless, would I have a different outcome? I'm gonna make you aimless first. I cannot believe you did not kill the Sponcher. Yeah, Sponcher's gonna attack for 3. Nom and Stompy would murder. I mean, Nom and Stompy will have Barrage if I want Nom and Stompy to have Barrage right now. Do it. 10 damage to the whole line. Nice! Okay, we do see this effect. So Foxy does lose Aimless and does pick up Barrage. Also, Tutorian's about to activate. Just saying. I do want a Flask of Ink the Spike Wall. It says Smackback, counterattack after taking a hit. Silence that effect. The Tutorian is just making another person randomly act this round, but the possibility is it makes Foxy react and then go up and attack the Spike Wall in a way that I don't want. Split that Krunker wide open. Okay. I wonder if maybe this is what I want. Take out the top line. So many different instances of damage that I have to commit to, though. What if I did just go straight for the damage on the bottom line, right? So I deal not 10 this round, but Foxy and the Tutorian both trigger. I like it. I want a Sunlight Drum. Frost across the entire line from Eloise, and then that actually ends up triggering Nom and Stompy. That was the Tutorian triggering Eloise, who had Barrage on the top line, struck through, killed a bunch of units, and in doing so, forced Stompy to actually act this round. Sick. Love it. Great. I don't have much space on board. It's time for the Sunbella Bells. Now entering the Frostlands. I have more money than I have treasure. I want treasure. Okay. When hit, deal equal damage to the attacker as the bite box. There's a Sunglass Chime here. When destroyed, trigger all allies, as well as a Mimic. Trigger whenever an ally in the row attacks. I have to assume that triggering multiple times does not count as multiple attacks. I think Sunglass Chime is the best one here. Trigger all allies in the line, the possibility of just triggering the ICGM. Seems good to me. It is Crib. There is Crib and Burster out on the field. Don't really matter the positionings initially. I get to fix those. Alright. Ooh, buddy. Ooh, buddy. Oh, buddy. We have the Gosh Gosh opening. That is to say, I can put a Tutorian out. Full stop, that's it. That's all I need to do. I can put a Tutorian out and then have my Sunlight Drum go off so I get a ridiculous amount of attacks early on so that I can control the board. Control the board and you control the game. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Foxy just murders the burster on the top line with a 3-strike in the next turn anyway. Control the board. Tutorian had triggered Nom and Stompy, unfortunately in a position where Nom and Stompy struck a unit's block. That said, we're still doing really well. I do want to get out my barrage to all allies in row as well, but unfortunately it will currently debuff units on field. And also I'm not going to get junk in time to use the Sunsong box in this cycle. Let's try and get the Noomlin cookie on something. Okay, you've got barrage right now. Let's give you aimless and see what happened. Wait, I can Noomlin that? Oh, but you are about to attack this round. I have to give you the aimless first. Okay, so it's lost barrage and now it has aimless. But if I just swap the units afterwards, so it's the most recently applied mutually exclusive attack modifier. Got it. And I have the ability to alter it in the play while changing these positions. That is so useful to know. Oh god, that calms my soul. Okay, Tutorian is going to trigger this round as well. Neat, neat, neat. Always nice to see. I think I kind of just want to Noomlin something. I'm gonna Noomlin the Snowzuka, in fact. Sorry, did I have haze? Eloise hit Nom and Stompy and then Gachapompa. I must have had haze on Eloise. When did I get that? Burster applies one sprite name haze to Eloise, yeah. Yep, just missed that happening. Oops. It's all good. Not gonna, cause the end of the world. Okay, Foxy. Oh, I wanted the gachapompa to be on the other. Why? Ugh, that was not good. That was not good. It's fine. We'll be fine. That wasn't good though. Get the ICGM out so I can get the sunglass chime suddenly when it's wanted. I mean, first off, I definitely need to prevent the burster from getting another haze out. That was nightmarish. The ability to beat up the crawler without having to worry about it is very appealing here. So I will ink out your ability. So something like that, where the ICGM or even Junkhead blocks for Foxy, who then responds by, I mean, hopefully killing the crawler. Heck, I could even do it with Blunky if I wanted to. Get another attacky unit out on board. I like it. So the crab's gonna attack the 8. I mean, that's probably best blocked by the ICGM. Unless I want to throw something back to hand, like the Tutorian. Or back to the deck. And then put Junkhead out instead. I mean, I'm gonna have to block someone's haze as well. I do want the Tutorian triggering this turn, though. I can't pull Blunky back. Can't pull Foxy back either. So the ICGM definitely needs to take that hit. And then Blunky needs to take the hit on the top line. Eloise and Nom and Stompy respond by murdering the crab, and then the Tutorian triggers here on the bottom line. Hopefully helping us finish the crab off. The burster, that is. Uh-oh. I can never let this ICGM trigger. It has haze. It's going to hit me! No. I needed not to do that. Alright. Let's see what we can do. I'm gonna go for a reroll first. Draw some more cards. Now, I do feel like making the crab on the top line significantly less threatening seems like a great idea to me. However, also increasing the damage of... Foxy is probably more important right now. We already have the Aimless. Which means, of course, I'm not able to apply Aimless to that target who already has it. I honestly probably do want Nom and Stompy to be aimless as well, so I would be fine doing that. I do have Junk in hand, so I could use the Sunsong box in order to get Foxy to immediately attack. If I thought that was going to have supreme benefit for us. Nice! We actually do manage to remove the burster. I'm going to reorient to put a Sunglass Chime on the top line. That then gives me access to my critical Noomlin. 3 instances of removing blocks from Numbskull here sounds great to me. And in fact, I can do that immediately. Redraw as soon as possible also seems pretty good right now. Burster would destroy the Sunglass Chime, which would then just trigger again more attacks from the top line. Which does seem great. Okay, yep, this is all fine, this is all fine. I'm going to cycle. There's another Sunsong. Unfortunately, I don't have Junk in hand at this point in time. Don't have the ability to freeze someone. Do I want to freeze someone particularly? Not over much. Honestly, if I didn't have to... if I'd inked before, I would have the ability to throw the ICGM back and then put a Blunky out on the field, which I think I would prefer. Alas, I think I actually just throw individual triggers of block removal at Numbskull here. Okay, what happened? Yeah, Numbskull hits the ICGM. It blocks 6 damage. Burster hits the Sunglass Chime, which dies. Sunglass Chime blocks 1 damage. And then the ICGM triggers. Hang on! Trigger all out! You know what? I randomly decided that it had to be an ally in the row. That's not the case. This is my mistake. I easily could have just murdered Eloise with the ICGM there. It's okay, we didn't do it, so that means it's fine, right? Here's the play. I use Snowzuka, Noomlin, get a junk in hand, Sunsong box on Foxy, get them! Break them! Break them. Oh no, Blunky is actually weaker now. Oh, it does feel a little bad. Yeah, I'm definitely going for the Woolly Snail 100% of the time. No two ways about that one. Totem of the Godam, there's also the Frostbite Shard, reduce the target's effects by 1 consume. That could be very relevant when we consider the people that we have to fight at the end of the run. Do I have the ability to look at that right now? Maybe not, alas. Blaze Tea, add Frenzy, but increase counter by 1 consume. I could absolutely put that on Gnome and Stompy, quite happily. Let's go to the Woolly Snail, find some more charms. Molten Dip is still great for us. 2 multi-attackers, and we have AoE attacks and things like that. It's all great. I'm gonna go for the crown. Another unit that I don't have to worry about drawing. Ooh, wait. Are you telling me that I can crown my opening hand? All of these cards. Oh! It doesn't have to be units? I thought it... I don't know why. I was just certain that only the units would be allowed. Oh boy. Oh boy. What about giving Nom and Stompy a frenzy as early as possible? If the Sunglass Chime or the Sunlight Drum ever come up, Nom and Stompy just controls the entire board immediately. Oh, baby. Could also make sure that we get the junk head out as soon as possible to start blocking and giving me the junk that I need to cast certain things. When I say certain things, it is still just the Sunsong box. Ultimately, the Sunsong box is not as relevant to our deck at this point. Gachapompa for the ability to apply barrage to all enemies in line. Ultimately, like, I can draw towards that if I absolutely need to have Foxy hit everyone. I really like getting Noomlin on something very early so that I can actually start planning a couple of turns ahead and start really enjoying cycling through the deck. But having the ICGM and then possibly just triggering it with a sunglass. I'm doing it. Crown the ICGM. Okay, Molten Dip does look appealing. Let me take a charm from the charm machine first. When destroyed, deal 8 damage to all enemies in row. Hilarious. I mean, Sunglass Chime? Trigger multiple times equal to scrap. You know what? I don't think that will cause it to deal 8 damage 4 times. But it does say trigger. Trigger is include the effects in that as well as his damage. I mean, we'll see. Yeah, Molten Dip just still seems really good. I went for another charm. Forgive me. Hard charm, plus 5 health. Neat. Pretty good. I actually want to put that on LOEs just to have some safety. a little bit more insulation against any mistake that I invariably make. Hey, Dyla. It's good to see you. Foxy, Eloise, I see GM. Okay. Okay, I think I know what I'd do. Lacey needs to go on Nom and Stompy. So Foxy intends to attack this round. I would like them to attack solo in a line for their Fury 3 effect. They're also attacking solo in a line, so doing that on top of Magma Booster at the same time would be a huge amount of damage. So, like, if I did something similar to this, and then you are doing 4, and now you're doing 7, and then if you hit the backline 2 times because you are aimless, you'll just kill Bonnie instantly, as well as deal some damage to Demona. Help us start controlling the board. Nice. And then this. If I put the Sunglass Chime up here in front of Demona, Demona attacks it, Demona kills the Sunglass Chime. The Sunglass Chime then triggers all allies. I don't know in what order it triggers them, but hopefully Nom and Stompy goes first and immediately murders Demona. And then we just start pushing all of our damage against Dyla immediately. Didn't trigger in that order. They got the ICGM first. Interesting. Hey, buddy. Hey! Wait, how was I gonna explain why I wasn't out on the board yet? Hey, buddy. Okay. So, it looks like the order in which the trigger goes is top, front, bottom, front. Top, middle, bottom, middle, and then, like, cycles through in that fashion. I'm not currently very enthused about the idea of this, this Frost Guardian and Grink attacking my Foxy on the bottom line. Unfortunately, Blunky would block the block and then get killed by the Frost Guardian immediately. If I were to cycle, I could possibly draw into Junkhead or Gachapompa. Tutorian could also just block both of these hits on the bottom line for me. Actually, no, Blunky wants to die right now. So Blunky blocks this hit and then dies, which then gives Foxy the ability to attack in a free line by themselves, giving them the ability to take out those 2 units. Okay. The sooner I can get Foxy to trigger again, the far better off I'm going to be. Putting a Tutorian out on the field feels like an approach towards that, especially considering the Sunlight Drum still exists in the deck. I put the Tutorian out, we're gonna draw around here. Yeah. There it is. Tutorian should trigger last. I really don't want Frost Guardian to kill, though. Maybe Sunlight Drum doesn't come out this turn. Maybe it comes out next turn. And instead I get myself some access to junk. I like that. Okay. Now on this line I can play the Sunlight Drum. In this order. Tutorian toots and forces Foxy to attack again. Excellent. Top line, Winterworm and Grink are both going to strike against the Junkhead. They're ultimately going to be taking it out by doing so. Foxy doesn't get to attack for free on this bottom line, unfortunately. But I am capable of just chunking down the rest of this Frost Guardian's health with this strategy, I believe. I could Noomlin one of my cards. And I should do that sooner rather than later, though I don't think I'm going to be in the fight long enough for it to matter. So I can play my Noomlin card for free. And will do, and then I'm going to redraw. So I do have junk in hand, giving me the ability to use Sunsong Box this turn if I want to attack with Foxy immediately. I mean, do I need money at this point? Like, I could try and also get Foxy on the top line to start striking down a bunch of units, but that just doesn't seem useful. That would be like Gachapompa and Magma Booster in order to give you the ability to like wipe everyone at the same time with your multi-strike. Yeah, it just didn't seem relevant. That was not the... I didn't know I was able to cast that on the card in hand. I guess it makes sense. Yeah, now it's that and aimless. Cool. Oh, there's a lot more a lot more control over these kinds of things than I thought there was. Get him, Foxy. Oh, hello, buddy. What's up? Hey, what are you doing to my Eloise? You cursed them. Victory? I feel pretty victorious. The Icebreaker cabinet is unlocked, a new item is unlocked, a new companion is also... You best believe it's unlocked. I go back to town, we see our new Frost Guardian has been ascended. Whenever a card is destroyed, countdown by 1. It's going to be kind of terrifying. Oh boy, I am looking forward to fighting you. Icebreaker cabin construction completed. Visit the Icebreaker cabin to find out how people break some people out of the ice. Oh, to find out how to break some people out of the ice. Got it. Inventor's Hut, new item invented. And a hot spring, new companion. Check out the hot spring. Let's go there. That's not a companion. Buy 5 discounted items. Could have done that more. Oops. We're not going to unlock another tribe at this point. Oh, maybe in the future, though? I don't know. This seems like it has the ability to expand a little bit, theoretically. Kabonka. New invention. Has 1 scrap health and 3 damage. Says trigger against anything that is hit with frost. Snow, sorry. Behold, my latest invention. I would love that. Kill 20 enemies with items as well. Well met, my friend. Name's Rufus, and my job is to free folks who've gotten stuck in the ice. Perhaps something. Didn't have time. I needed to see the breadth of this man's chest so I could figure out how he would speak about it. Gain 40 blings from goblins. That'll just happen over time. Complete challenges here to unlock new events that will appear on the map during runs. Oh! Oh, okay. I didn't expect that was the thing that was gonna happen. Snobble. Apply snow equal to the damage dealt. The more the merrier. Deal 10 damage to your own team. I already did that in the previous round, but I mean, look, I guess we're gonna have to do it another time. None of the rest of that, I think, has become developed. However, for the moment, my name has been Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Wildfrost. Top left is a series playlist for all my content of the game, past, present, future, YouTube recommendation. Down below, streaming past other names of the people so generously supporting the Republic on patreon.com/RhapsodyPlays. And a special thanks this episode to Eloise. Hopefully you'll have been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you all next time.